Hello, stat students, and welcome to our class. We are now in day 4. I just wanted to give you some quick advice and to kind of go over the structure of the class. Hopefully, you're kind of seeing it at this point, but I just want to kind of reiterate as we're all building our kind of schedules and our patterns and our habits for this course. So, first of all, I want to talk about the schedule. In case you haven't noticed, the modules are set up so that they're basically 5 days long. Every module you'll have 5 days to complete, and then exams you're gonna have 4 days to study for and complete. So for the 5 day exam or 5 day modules, what I would personally do if I were you is try to split it up so you're doing a little bit of work every single day. So on day 1, I would probably read through the textbook readings, watch the videos, and do all the kind of learning parts of the module. Then on day 2, I would do some of the practice, the comprehension quiz, and get started on the problem set, the stuff in my stat lab. And then on day 3, I would finish up my stat lab. Then I would also work on the analysis. If you finished it before then, email me, save your analysis, don't submit it, save it, ask me to look it over. And on day 4, you can wrap things up. And hopefully at that point, if you've wrapped things up, you got everything perfect, and you still have a day before the deadline. If not, if there's still some questions going back and forth between you and I, then you still have a day to finish things up. If you finish up on day 4, then you have two options of either take a break and relax on day 5 or start working ahead. And that's always a good idea in an online course, is to work ahead a little bit for a couple reasons. One reason, if things get challenging for you for one particular module and you've been working ahead, then you have a little bit of extra time to let it sink in and do some extra work. Or when life happens. Life happens to all of us. Something's going to happen. You're going to get sick. You got to, something happens with your family, whatever the case might be. If you've been working ahead, then you have that little bit of a buffer built in that it's not going to hurt you by missing deadlines. So, I would definitely suggest working ahead. Try to stick to that schedule. The other thing I want to talk about, I just briefly mentioned just now, was with the analysis assignments. From my experience teaching this class, the analysis assignments are what students struggle with the most, and they're actually meant to be that way. They're meant to be the hardest part of the module. It's to kind of culminate all your learning together and to make you do some critical thinking. And sometimes you kind of miss the boat on some of the questions, and that's normal. It's part of the learning process. So a good way to make sure that you don't lose points for missing the boat, and so it can actually have a good conversation and get you leading in the right direction and learning, is to complete those assignments at least 24 hours before the deadline. Don't submit it, just save it, and then send me an email and ask me to look it over. And at that point, I'll be more than happy to look it over, see what kind of feedback I can give you, tell you if you're on the right track or not on certain problems. And that way, you can get some learning before you have to get the grade. Because I will also give you feedback when I grade it. So when I grade any of your material, I'll give you feedback on what you did well, what you didn't do well, and what you could work on, how you could look at things differently. But it's a lot better to get that feedback before the points start coming off. So I think we all want to get really high scores and keep as many points as possible. So if you can finish your stuff early, send me an email and ask me to look it over. We'll all be happy. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Send me an email. I'm always there to help. Stop in my office during office hours is fine as well. I'd love to hear you for there. So just let me know if I can help in any way.